All right, this came in from Jared for Spencer Scale of Agreement. During the 2025 season, there will be at least 2 weeks where two Oregon Ducks will be listed in the top 10 Heisman poll from any major outlet that does that sort of thing. 2 weeks with two. Look, if you'd said one Duck, my number would be higher. You said two. Who are the two? Like, one of them clearly would be Dante Moore, right? Garners the most attention at quarterback, should be set up for success to have a good year. And I'm excited to watch that. I'm really excited to see what I know that we've seen a little bit of him in his career, but we haven't seen him at Oregon yet. It could be really special and fun. Really, really cool. I'm stoked to watch it. I don't place Heisman expectations on a guy starting a full season for the first time, presuming he stays healthy, God willing. Joe Burrow, for instance, went to LSU in 2018, started there, and they were a good team. And then in 2019, they were the best team in the history of college football. I will argue that from now until the end of time. I do not give anything. I do not care what people would say about, well, the 90s Miami and Nebraska and the defense was loaded. Man, when you have got an NFL quarterback who is top 3 in the league, most likely, and two receivers who are also top 3 in the league, and they're on the same team, I'm sorry. I don't care if you're putting Deion Sanders out there. Man, you got to have 5 Deion Sanders to cover all of those guys, and nobody can do it. So I'm of the belief 2019 LSU is the best team in the history of college football. I think you put them on the field against anybody else, they're going to win. They were good in the trenches. They were good enough on defense, but Burrow with Jamar Chase, and I mean, they were on pace in that playoff game against Oklahoma. Granted, it was Oklahoma, but still, they were on pace to put up 100 points. They had 49 in the first half. Like, it was silly. It was completely silly. Anyway, we got a little sidetracked here. So, bringing that back to Dante Moore, that was Joe Burrow's second season at LSU. I'm not saying Dante Moore will do that, but career path-wise, my expectations for him, go look at Joe Burrow. Let's see. Let's pull up his 2018 college stats at LSU. He had a good year. Wasn't great, but it was good. He completed only 58% of his passes, only threw 16 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, and threw for just under 2,900 yards. If you threw a few more touchdowns in there and maybe completed a few more passes and put that for Dante Moore this year, Oregon's winning at least 10 games. I would take that 16-5 touchdown interception ratio. I don't know why that number was so low. That's a little bit strange. And then he explodes the next year for over 5,600 yards, 60 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. That's awesome. Oh, man. That is an odd. Completing 76% of his passes, by the way. So I don't bring up those numbers to say that's what Dante Moore is going to do. I bring that up to say the best quarterback season we've ever seen came in his second year with the Tigers. So I think Dante Moore will be good this year. He comes back next year. Mark my words, I will be full steam ahead on the hype train for Oregon to win the national championship and for Dante Moore to win the Heisman. I will be right here on this very program, presuming all of those things go according to plan. So if Dante Moore were to be one of these Ducks who pop into the Heisman discussion this year, and he's playing in an offense that's produced consecutive Heisman finalists at quarterback. Nobody else in the country can say that. So, sure, that's not completely ridiculous. Who's the second one? Is Mateo popping off for sacks? Is Kenyon Sadiq going crazy? Is DeCorian Moore a freshman sensation? Is the 3 Oregon Ducks that are, or the 2 that are on the FanDuel Heisman odds, Dante Moore is actually number 11, which I think is too high, but it's cool that he's there. Dante Moore is at number 11 going into the season, and then way, way down the list is Mekhi Hughes. So, is that where, like, I'm curious. Jared, send me a note and let me know like who you think those players could be. I'm again putting this at a 1 on Spencer's scale of agreement because I just inside the top 10 is at the highest standard. No, but you got to remember it's a big world, like the ocean in Finding Nemo. Okay, the big blue. Okay, this is the big blue of college football. Lots of guys out there that can go and have Heisman caliber seasons. Ohio State, well, probably just Jeremiah Smith. Maybe their quarterback could, but they've got a former 5-star quarterback in Julian Sand. Maybe he'd be in there. Like, that would probably be more likely on paper than the Ducks having to. So I'm curious who you think the second one could be. Hughes would probably be the most likely one because I think the receiving core is going to be really well spread out. I think Dante Moore will find someone, maybe DeCorian Moore, who he likes a lot in the absence of Evan Stewart. Maybe it's Gary Bryant, maybe Justice Lowe, maybe it's Kenyon Sadiq. Who knows? I think it'll be a pretty well spread out distribution of players that are routinely catching passes from Dante Moore. I think you could see more receivers have a significant season statistically than has ever happened in Dan Lanning's tenure so far. So, yeah, a couple of 1s on the SSA today. Boy, that doesn't happen very often. But hey, whether it's 1 or whether it's a 10, I love the takes. Keep thinking of them. Keep them coming. So, wrapping today with something that I am truly starting to enjoy because I'm a trivia junkie. And so, when I can combine 2 of my favorite things, my show about Oregon and trivia, well, I'm kind of all about that. So let's wrap with some trivia questions. Bud's got a few of them in there. How many Oregon players have placed in the top 3 in the Heisman voting? This should be pretty easy to figure out. I actually don't think Dylan Gabriel was top 3. I'm pretty sure Gabriel was 4. So Bo Nix, Marcus Mariota, LaMichael James, Harrington had to have been in there. I don't think Achilles Smith was ever a Heisman finalist. Now, I wasn't around during that era, so if I missed that, then I think I get a little bit of a pass. I'll go 4. Harrington, LaMichael, Mariota, and Bo Nix. How many Oregon players have received Heisman votes in multiple years? Ooh, multiple years. Well, received votes. That's tough. I gotta go. I'll probably say 2. I'm sure LaMichael got. I know obviously he was a finalist one year, but in 2011 he probably got some votes. He got hurt, so that didn't help his chances. But Bo Nix 23 and 20 or 22 and 23. Yeah, he probably got a couple of votes in there, maybe. So I'll say 2. How many Oregon players and coaches have been inducted in the College Football Hall of Fame? Oh. Well, I don't even. I don't know what the eligibility line is for when a player becomes eligible to go into the Hall of Fame. I mean, Haloti Ngata should be in there. Joey Harrington should be in there. Dan Fouts should probably be in there. Mariota should be in there. LaMichael should be in there. But are Mariota and LaMichael eligible? I feel like I saw something about that not that long ago. I'll go with 5. I'll go with 5 as my guess there. Last one. How many Oregon players have been inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Ooh. Those last 2 are stumpers, man. That's tough. I applaud you for those questions because that's tough. Pro Football Hall of Fame. Justin Herbert's going to get there one day. Penei Sewell will probably get there one day too. The Pro Football Hall of Fame. Haloti Ngata should be in if he's not already. I don't think the number's huge. Maybe I'm lowballing. I'll go with 3. Make sure you send me the answers to any of the trivia questions you sent in, but I'm here for it. So have a great weekend. Appreciate everyone listening. I'll see you next time. Until then, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and go Ducks.